First thing is you have to remember, again, none of the formulas will be given. So these are things you have to remember. All right, everybody should be able to tell me what the formula for area of a trapezoid is. We started in, believe it or not, 5th grade, 6th grade, 7th grade. All right, we've done the area of a trapezoid for a long time. So again, just as a refresher right here, I went ahead and just pulled up the formulas for you, all right, just so you could see them. All right, but again, the formula is just 1/2 base times height. I'm sorry, 1/2 the height times the average of the bases. So look what I'm trying to say here. All right, you always add the two bases and divide by 2 and then multiply it by the height. Everybody good with this? All right, very, very simple. So I say it's the average of the bases times the height. That's how I remember it. The average of the bases times the height. Then, that's really it. All right, so let's get out your calculators real quick. All right, we're going to zip through these two worksheets. No, this is like basic. Area equals how much? Now, again, what is important, though, is 400 what? Square feet. Don't forget, you're measuring area with squares. All right, listen, I'm not just putting up the answers up here now. You get on your calculator and you get busy. All right, that's the deal. All right, so I'm on question number 2. Area is equal to 504 what?
Squared.
Come on now. Remember, get it right. You're measuring area with squares. It would be 504 square yards. 504 square yards. Everybody good on this? All right. Tell me about number 3.
820.
50 plus 32, then divided by 2, then times 20. Number 4, area.
57.5 inches.
How much?
177.
What do we get for 6?
84.
Now here, what they would have to tell you here, just to make sure you guys, which I don't think they did they say those isosceles trapezoid? Yeah, see, so they kind of made you have to assume that. So that is an isosceles trapezoid, which now allows you to say that the base is going to, the second base would be what? Yeah. So the second base is 30. Well, see, what they're referencing is this. This is not a very good. See if I go down this way. Everybody with me on this? Okay, so then the area of the lawn that he's going to have to mow is what? 975 point what? Any issues? All right, now let's look at the next part. All right, now the next thing that you have to remember. All right, we have another formula for area of a rhombus or the area of a kite. All right. And that's just half the product of the diagonals. All right, half the product of the diagonals. Now, if you're looking at this, just take a quick look, just for a quick second, so I can maybe show you a little bit something. Look up. This right here, I want to show you is this triangle here and this triangle here. Does everybody agree with that? All right, so the base, what I'm interested in is, that looks good. Try to stay with me for a second. This right here, they're telling you is diagonal 2, correct? Which is the same as the what of that triangle. No, I don't think it's the hypotenuse. Just remember, we're finding the area of a triangle. So essentially, here's what I'm trying to show you. Right, it's the base of the triangle. Right, so if I wanted to find that area, it would be 1/2, and then it would be considered the base. And the base in this case is what? D2. Now, what would the height be? 1/2 of D1. And then multiply by 2. Come on now, that's just something for, if you forget the formula, it's really easy to figure out what the formula is if you just paid attention. So now, does everybody agree the top triangle and the bottom triangle are exactly the same? So you just multiply them by 2. When you multiply them by 2, look what happens to this 2 and this 1/2. They cancel. All right? So the area is now just 1/2 diagonal 1 times diagonal 2, which is the formula. Everybody see that? All right. So here we go. This area is equal to
Squared.
easy enough. Here we go. 1640. All right. Now for number 2.
Yeah, I got 400.
Now part of the problem here is that they divided the diagonal, right? So it's just 1/2 times 40 times 20, or you could just say 20 times 20. Do I agree with that? So that would be 400 centimeters squared. All right, look at question number 3. Area is how much? All right, here we go. Number 4. Now, what is that shape called? A square. So here's something I would like for you to remember. That the square, you don't really need the side if you're given the diagonal. And what's true about the diagonals? They're equal, right? So again, the area of a square is 1/2 of what? Diagonal squared, right? because both diagonals are what? The same. All right, so this diagonal happens to be what? I don't think so. 26, right? So A is equal to 1/2 of 26 squared. Fill me in on that. 338 centimeters squared. So now on number 5, area equals
112 meters squared.
112.
112 meters squared. Now number 6. Everybody okay with this? 108 centimeters squared. Come on. Okay, now finally, we just have to work backwards here, guys. All right. So now you're given the area, you have to find the missing piece. So, of course, I want you to write 164 is equal to 1/2 32.8 times x. So the height is how much? I got 10.
Oh, I see.
The height is 10 feet. Are we okay with that? All right. Now here we have 340 is equal to 1/2 of 2x times 20. I think it's 17. Right. Very easy. So x is equal to 17 centimeters. Right? Finally, over here, 247.5 is equal to 1/2 x times 22.5. Do I put that being 22?
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it again. So I took 1/2 of 22.5, and then I did 247.5 divided by 11.25. You get on this now? Yep. Your homework is definitely, I need you to do the word problems. All right, so finish the next 2 worksheets. It's very simple. Very simple. Yeah, it is an easy day. All right, get it finished. All right, all of this last 2 chapters are kind of easy, but you have to know the formula. All right, get to work.